Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Kiddushin. We are up to Perek Bet Mishna Dalet. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'elu Nishmat Neria Ben Svetlana Aranbai Veliyahu Ben Burchai Israelov Chana Ben Miriam Sason Ben Raya and Yoshua Ben Shifra Menuchatam Began Eden Amen and Ne'avdu Ben Chaim Lechaim V'derefua Shelemav Daniel Shalom Ben Rosa B'tor Shar Cholei Israel. This Mishnah discusses the law of an agent who did not properly follow the instructions he was given. Mishnah Daled. Ha'omer lishlucho, if someone says to his agent, "Se v'kadesh li isha plonit b'makom ploni," go and betroth for me so and so in such and such a place. V'alach v'kidisha b'makom acher, and the agent went and betrothed her in a different place. And not mikudeshet, she is not betrothed, because the agent was not given the right to perform the Kiddushin anywhere else. It is assumed that the husband wanted the Kiddushin to take place only in the place he specified, and the Gemara in Kiddushin, page 58, suggests that he may have friends there who will make sure that the woman will hear good things about him. However, if a man said to an agent, "Go and betroth so-and-so for me, she is in such and such a place," and the agent betrothed her in a different place, she is betrothed. In this case, it is clear from the man's language that he meant only to tell the agent where to find the woman, and not that he must perform the Kiddushin there. And that is the end of Mishnah Daled. Mishnah Hay begins, if someone betroths a woman on condition that she is not restricted by vows, and it is then found that she is in fact restricted by vows that most husbands would find objectionable. For example, she had vowed that she will not eat meat or drink wine, or that she will not wear colorful clothes. A husband would object to such vows because by afflicting herself in these ways, his wife makes herself unattractive to him, as the Gemara writes in Kiddushin, page 72b, with Rashi's explanation there. Only vows of this type render the betrothal invalid, as the Meiri writes. Now, although this man mentioned vows in general and did not specify any particular type, we assume that he had in mind only those vows that a typical husband would consider unacceptable, as the Gemara discusses in Ketubot, page 72b. So the Mishnah says, "Anam mikudeshin." In this case, she is not betrothed, where he betroths a woman on condition that she is not restricted by vows, and he then finds out that she is in fact restricted by vows that most husbands would find objectionable. She is not betrothed. Since the condition was not met, the Kiddushin is not valid. She is therefore free to marry another man, even without receiving a get, a bill of divorce. Now the Mishnah contrasts this with an ordinary case of marriage where the husband made no such condition. Kinasah stam, if he married her without making this condition, and it was then found that she is under vows that most husbands would object to, she can be divorced without receiving her ktubah, but she must receive a get. Now the ktubah is the amount a husband or his estate must pay his wife if their marriage ends in divorce or death. This he does not have to pay, but she must receive a get. The husband has the right to divorce her and not pay her ktubah, because he can claim that he never wanted to marry a woman who was restricted by vows, even though he did not say so at the time. On the other hand, a get is needed because it is possible that at the time of the marriage he had no objection to a wife with vows, and he is changing his mind now. Therefore, the marriage might be valid, and she may not marry again unless she receives a get. Although the Mishnah says that he married her, meaning he performed the su'in, the same law applies where he also betrothed her without making the condition. By mentioning marriage, the Mishnah teaches that even if he performed both acts, Kiddushin and Nisu'in, without the condition, he still does not need to pay the ktubah. A similar case, al-menat she'en bah mumin, if someone betroths a woman on the condition that she does not have any physical defects, v'nimtzu bah mumin, and it was then found that she does have defects, and amikudesha, she is not betrothed at all, and no get is required. Kinasah stam, however, if he married her without making this condition, v'nimtzu bah mumin, and it was then found that she had defects, tetzeh shelo b'chtubah, she can be divorced without receiving a ktubah, but she may not remarry until she receives a get. And the Mishnah states which types of defects can make a marriage invalid. Kol hamumina poslin b'kohanim poslin b'nashim. All the physical defects that disqualify Kohanim from serving in the temple disqualify women with regard to marriage, like the Mishnah describes. Now, a Kohen who has certain physical defects may not serve in the temple. These defects are listed in Vayikra chapter 21, verses 18 through 20, and in the 7th chapter of Masechet Bechorot. The Gemara in Ketubot, page 75a, also lists a number of additional defects that do not disqualify Kohanim, but are nevertheless considered defects with regard to marriage. If the man saw the defect and still betrothed her, obviously the Kiddushin is valid because he obviously accepted it. But again, that is the Mishnah's case. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen v'amen.